Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this card making video. I'm going to show you how to make this lovely birthday card in this tutorial. This one is Real Red and Poppy Parade, and isn't it pretty? I just love it. And we're going to be using the layers of beauty stencils, but we're not going to actually be using the matching stamp sets. So we're going to make this whole card just using the stencils and not the actual image of the stamp set, which you can see I'm showing you here. So let's get started. My original was, as I said, Poppy Parade, Real Red and Cherry Cobbler, and my greens were Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. We're going to be doing a slightly different colour combination. We're going for the yellows. So we're going to be using Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight and Crushed Curry. Now I have a piece here of scrap paper to use for my ink blending. And I'm getting out the layers of beauty stencils. There's 5 of them. And I've got here a piece of basic white cardstock. And I'm just lining this up on my grid paper. And then I'm going to use some post-it note tape just to hold it to my grid paper so it's not going to move anywhere on me. Now I'm going to take the first stencil, and this is the larger one, and I'm going to line it up over my piece of basic white cardstock, just moving my tape because it got in the way of my stenciling. And when I'm happy with the position, then I'm going to take some more post-it note tape just to hold that in place. Now you'll see at the top of all the stencil there's a little notch. You can see here, I'm showing it to you now. And that's how you can line up all your stencils really easily. You just line up a notch on each one. So I'm just going to take a pencil here and make a mark on my grid paper where that notch is. And then I know if I line up all of my stencils to match that notch, it will always line up really easily on my cardstock, as long as I don't move my cardstock. Okay, so let's start with our lightest colour, and that's going to be Lemon Lolly. And I'm just using my lovely blending brushes, and I tend to use the smaller ones nowadays quite often because I just find them the easiest to use. And I'm just putting down a base layer of colour here, as you can see. Very, very light, though I know it does look a bit darker on the camera, but it is quite light. You'll see, especially when it smooths out and it dries, it lightens up considerably. So that was Lemon Lolly. I love the names, don't you? They're just so cute, and these wash up really easy. Just put them in a sink of water and take them out, and they're all clean again. Really, really easy clean up, and that's what I love. No staining, no difficulty at all. So we're just going for our second one, and you can see how easy it's been to line up as long as we lined up those notches. I'm going to go in with our middle yellow colour, which is here is going to be Daffodil Delight, and this is going to add in our midtones. So I'm just going over everywhere. Really, really easy. Anyone can make a card like this. You do not have to have any previous crafting experience or anything. Stencils make crafting so simple, and that is what I love about them. And I am so happy to see we have more layering stencils in the catalogue this year because I absolutely adore them. Now I'm going to go in with our third stencil, and this will add all our little highlights. So this is what's going to really give us our shading and really help to bring our image to life. And I'm going in with my darker colour, which here is Crushed Curry. And as you can see, I've just kept the same blending brush for the 2 yellows, and for the Crushed Curry I've gone in with my orangey one instead. And I don't have a separate one for each colour. I just have one for the yellows, one for the reds, the greens, etc. So we're just adding that in now. And look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? There's a very soft image. If you don't use the harsh outline of the stamp set, sometimes that's exactly what you want. You want the firm outline of the stamp set, and I've made plenty of cards using the stamp set and the stencils, and they look amazing. But sometimes you want a softer look, and then you can just use the stencils on their own without the accompanying stamp set, which is what I wanted to show you here. So now we're going to go in with our greenery, and I'm going to go with my lighter green here, which is Lemon Lime Twist, and just adding simple base layer of colour everywhere, and just trying to make sure I haven't missed anywhere out. And don't you think adding the greenery just brings the whole image to life? I think it really, really does. I think, it really just helps to balance the image and just makes it look more realistic. So now we're just lining up our last layer, and you can see here again I'm just lining it up with that notch at the top, and then just keeping everything in place with my post-it note tape. And now I'm going with my darker colour here, which is Granny Apple Green, and I actually really like this combination of Lemon Lime Twist and Granny Apple Green. It's a new one on me, but I really like how bright and summery it looks. Okay, so there is our beautiful image, and I'm going to cut it out with the matching dies. And you can see here everything is die cut and cut out, and I've got some dimensionals on the back here. So here I've got a piece of basic white cardstock. I've put it through the So Swirly embossing folder. Here we go. Sorry, I should have said yellow cardstock. So this cardstock is Daffodil Delight. I've put that through the So Swirly embossing folder, I should say. And my card base is thick basic white. So that's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And then I'm just going to stick my piece of Daffodil Delight onto my card base. There we go. And I'm just using some Tombow glue because the So Swirly embossing folder is really textured and it's really pretty. And I think the wet glue always will stick better with it. Now I've put dimensionals on the back of my image and I've taken all the backings off, so you didn't have to sit and watch that. So I'm putting that down straight onto my Daffodil Delight background, and doesn't that look pretty? So now we're just going to do a little bit of stamping for sentiment. And the stamps that we're going to use is this one called Simply Said. And here I'm just going to stamp again. I think can't remember what ink I used. It's either Daffodil Delight or Crushed Curry, one or the other. And there you can see, very simple happy birthday that I stamped. And then I'm just going to cut this out using my trimmer. Sometimes I do use a die, quite often I just use my trimmer. I find it just quicker, and I find it easier to get a straight line. And I'm just going to get off a little bit from each side. And the more times you use your trimmer just to cut out a sentiment, the quicker and easier it becomes. Like anything in life, the more you practice, the better you get at it, and the easier it becomes. Okay, so I'm just deciding where I want this, and I'm just going to have it across the top. There's a lot of dimension on this card already from the embossing folder and all the dimensionals, so I'm just going to use some Tombow glue and just put that right there between my two florals. I absolutely love how this card turned out. It's just so pretty. I would love to receive this as my birthday card. Okay, here we go, some finishing touches here, and I'm just using some good old rhinestones. I'm just going to scatter a few of them here and there and everywhere. Now, if you want any more information about this project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., it's all on the blog post on my website, and you can find the link to that and all my social media links in the description box below. If you have enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let me know which variation you prefer, the yellow or the red. I love to read your comments. So thank you for watching today for this card making paper crafting tutorial. And until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.